This guitar represents a complete generation change on what an acoustic guitar made in North America can be, what technological advances you can have as far as the tone wood goes. This is the Boucher Grand Reserve Studio Goose 161-T. It smells, oh my gosh. Oh, it just fills me with good memories of spending time with Boucher last year. It smells like their place. This guitar is literally out of the box and still in tune. I've not touched the tuners. From Canada to me in Virginia in the winter, and modern guitar players is an OM. Now, this has been a big shift over the last couple of years. I've seen most players buying new guitars move away from dreadnoughts into OMs and smaller bodies. Now, the reason why people find these so attractive and so welcoming is that with a long scale length like a dreadnought, it feels much more like home, but with that thinner body, it feels much more comfortable. I have so much warmth in my heart for Boucher guitars. They are making world-class guitars, and they are remarkable. Every bit of what they're doing, they're constantly refining and tweaking and pressing forwards to the best guitar that can possibly be built. That is a building philosophy that I really stand behind. I struggle with brands that are stuck to tradition and cannot innovate, and that their followers and their fans don't let them ever change things. They only want things the way that it was done in 1937. So, with all that said, let's talk about this guitar, what it is and what makes it so great, and what are the technological advancements behind it. Follow it up with, are there any things that I'm concerned about or that I would not be into this? Culminating with the thought of, if I was in the market, would I buy one of these? Should you buy one of these guitars? So this is one of the brand new OMs from Boucher. Now, Boucher has done several things in the last couple of years to take their guitars from excellent to exceptional. These are as good. This is the best Boucher I've ever played. One of the projects Boucher was undertaking when I was there last summer were their new molds to hold the rims of their guitars together when they're constructing these guitars. Now, what these do is that it holds the sides perfectly true to the top, and then it allows you to put the side bracing in so that you get a guitar that is so firmly connected physically, and you get energy transfer from the top to the sides to the back. Guitars are largely like drums, and drums typically want a very hard rim and then a very resonant top, with the opposite side being working as the resonant side of the drum. The most beautiful and technological advance in this guitar is the Torrefied Flamed Maple. This is a remarkable piece of maple that has been torrefied. Now, if you don't know what torrefaction is, this is my own definition. I think it's pretty close. Torrefaction is the artificial process of aging guitars. What you are doing is you are putting wood into a kiln in a vacuum, and you are then roasting and rupturing the cell structure so that it cannot take humidity anymore. So it makes for a more stable tone wood and a more light tone wood that also is just, it sounds, some people say that it sounds old, some people say that it sounds worn in. To me, it sounds open and airy and light, and it's a remarkably different guitar. Now, the fact is, everyone is kind of used to, at this point, Torrefied Adirondack Spruce, or Torrefied Spruce for the tops. But it is controversial, and there are certain brands that say you can't do this, but I promise you, you absolutely can Torrefied Maple. This is the first Torrefied Maple back and sides guitar I've ever played, and it is stunningly good. This guitar is very light, is very nimble. I would bet this guitar it's in the 3 pounds. Like, it's probably right around 4 pounds. This feels like a very, very light, like a 00018, like a mahogany guitar is normally this light. I don't think of maple, I always think the maple's heavy, but with the Torrefaction, it makes it very comfortable to play. So the final list of specs on this guitar. Torrefied Adirondack Spruce top. This is a Quad A Adirondack Red Spruce top. This is the Grand Reserve. This is the Torrefied Flame Maple back and sides. This has the gold Goto tuners with the gold pack. This also has the abalone on the headstock and the abalone on the rosette. And this guitar is absolutely remarkable. Now, this guitar will be for sale at Tallman Music. I'll put a link to Tallman. Thank you, Richard, for letting me borrow and intercept this guitar. Tallman guitars, they were one of the first brands to let me intercept some Boucher guitars, and I'm so thankful that you've let me do this, because it's given me great exposure to a guitar brand that I now feel so close, and my heart is so knit to Robin and Guillaume and to the whole crew. This guitar costs around $5,000. Depending on the dealer and the country that you're buying it in, it would seem like $5,000 to $5,500 would be about what I would expect for that. I still think that Bouchers are 25% too affordable. I look at other brands, like there's one very close to me in the Shenandoah Valley that I always think is kind of similar, but I think that the gap is now there's so much gap. Boucher is so much better than a lot of other boutique brands that I see and play regularly. So would I buy this guitar? I would buy this guitar in a heartbeat. It's interesting to me because maple is not my kind of tone wood. Well, that's sometimes true. I've had a couple maple guitars that I really love. Nathan Wright builds amazing maple guitars. But this guitar does not feel or sound or even look really like a maple guitar. It has opened up a warmth and a presence and a resonance to this tone wood that my eyes would not let my ears hear for the last couple years. So this guitar is remarkably comfortable and light. I would be very, very happy to own one of these. If you would like to own this one, like I said, Tallman Music. And so those are my thoughts. Is there anything I don't, let me see. Ooh, hey. Is there anything I don't like about this guitar? My only one pick my only gripe with Boucher guitars, and I know, James, you're going to text me about this, I know. The pick guard, it's just a little strange to me, but that's remember, you have this clanking around tradition, and so for me, it's their shape of a pick guard, but it's kind of an OM, kind of a triple O. So, like an OM pick guard typically would be a little more teardrop shaped, and a triple O guard would be a little longer, but a little more squared down here. So this is kind of, that half is a triple O, that half is an OM. So that's the only thing that I personally would change a little bit, but this guitar is remarkable. Red Bean likes it. Hey, this video only happens through the support of my patrons. Thank you to all my patrons, channel members, all of you. You are so wonderfully kind and gracious to me, and I am very thankful that I get to do this with my life. So, boom, thank you.